Hi everybody. This time I thought I'd do a little video here on my current Vectrex collection. You're not seeing things. I do have two Vectrex consoles. Very lucky and proud to have them. They both work really well. It's a really robust system, and it's honestly a system that I really feel doesn't get as much kudos in the retro community as it should get. It did come out late in the early 80s, or an 82 time frame. The video game crash was in the 83, 84 time frame, so the console itself is not on the market very long, but it's a phenomenal console. A lot of innovation in this console. Even the Apple Macintosh, although Apple may never admit it, has a lot of design cues with the original Macintosh, but that's another story. The Vectrex unit here is unique, as you can see, because it does have its own built-in vector monitor. Games like Asteroids, Tempest use that kind of display, and the graphics, even though they're only one color, they had overlays you could put on it, but the effects you could do with the vector screen on certain games are just unmatched. Sure, there's certain games that look better with bitmap, but games like Asteroids or Tempest or games like that nature, Rip Off, another game I love, can really be done best with the vector display. And it was a machine that was really ahead of its time in a number of different areas. Let's just start with the controllers itself. Now, the Vectrex controller is an analog controller. The 5200 did beat it with having its first analog controller on the market, but the difference is the 5200's controller had a lot of issues, mostly with it not being self-centering. It was very hard to play games of the day when you couldn't self-center. Now, I'm going to be honest. This does self-center, which is really nice, and it's got a good feel to it, and it works well. But still, for games like Pac-Man and stuff like that, even this analog stick is not as good as a good digital stick. And I'll get into more on that in a minute. You had 4 buttons here, and the controller actually fit right here and clipped in when not in use. The one problem with these particular joysticks is, as you see on this joystick, my left and right self-center, but my up and down do not. The spring in here has broke. Now, the good thing is it is fixable. You could simply take apart an Atari cartridge, and the spring that it closes the cartridge dust cover can be put in here to fix this issue. The problem is the screws to open this are actually under this overlay. So either A, you got to destroy your overlay, B, get, I think some people have used rubbing alcohol or actually lighter fluid to lift off this label without damaging it, and other people have also used a hairdryer to heat it and lift it. I haven't gotten to that point yet. It doesn't bother me that much because I really don't want to destroy the label. But there are a few people on eBay that make aftermarket labels that look very similar, if not exactly like this, but they're not the same thickness. They're a little bit thinner. It's not even, I think, a decal. I think you have to stick it on yourself. But so I'm trying not to use these. I mean, they do work well. I'm lucky that they do work, but this one does have little issues with it. Now, the reason primarily I was doing the video is because of this. A gentleman named Kevin from Australia makes these calls the VEC Adapter. Now, I have two here because when I ordered this one originally back in February, I received it and it did not work. When I connected it to my Vectrex, every time the screen just was blank. The net didn't come on the screen. I contacted him on eBay and he was very, very nice. He said something must have happened in shipping. He says, don't worry, I'll send you a new one. And this is one of his very first. It's the exact same adapter, just he's using a different case. I think I actually like this case a little bit better. I may transplant the guts from here into here just because I like this case a little bit better. This is the case he's selling now. It's a little bit larger. But both of them have an auto fire. You can put this on and off and change your buttons on and off even with the machine running. You do not have to turn the machine off. Now, I know a lot of people buy Sega pads already modded internally so they can plug right into your unit. I didn't like that because if something does happen to your controller, and controllers break, I mean, they just do. Now you got to worry about getting another controller or modding another one. With this, just get any Sega controller you like, plug it in, ready to play. And to be honest, the analog stick is innovative, and I'm sure maybe the 5200, totally my opinion, may have pushed them to do a controller like this to have more directional control. And there are a couple of games that do need that, but the majority of the games do not. They play much better with the digital pad. And this works phenomenal. This game Scramble here, when I play with the analog stick, I get killed all the time, relatively quick. I almost beat the game in the first try with this pad here, just because it works that much better. And it's basically button 1, button 2, button 3, and then button 4 is is here. And not too many games use button 4, so it's not that big a deal. But I highly recommend it. I'm going to put all these links down below for everything I'm showing you here. But this guy, Kevin from Australia, he makes a nice product here. It's like $30, I think was shipped to me. He's really stands behind his product, which to me means more than anything. And a lot of people in the retro community, people do make homemade products. They disappear, they vanish, they take your money and go. I'm probably exaggerating. I've not had that happen to me, thank God. But I know other people that have ordered certain things. It's been years and the products never come of light. He sent me this one. No questions asked, didn't work. Sent me this one. And I can't thank him enough for it. And this one, it's a shame that it doesn't work. But at least he came through and gave me one that did. Another thing I want to show you here is the light pen. Now this is not an original light pen for the Vectrex, it's an aftermarket. I got it from a gentleman. I'll put links down below. And this basically you can use, you plug this into your second joystick port and use this here to basically draw directly on your screen. I'm not really like doing that with my console, so I just got this just to have it to add to my collection. I tried it once, it works really, really well. But light pen wasn't expensive again, and the guy did a nice job with this particular device. Now the person who makes this Vectrex pen also makes this guy here. Now I know a lot of people think that maybe Sega with their Master System was the first console to give you 3D, true 3D stereoscopic effect on a home console. And I'm going to be honest, it really did a nice job. I have the Sega Master System with the 3D goggles. It's an LCD shutter that basically alternates the shutter glasses with what's going on in the TV set. And Missile Defense 3D, Maze Hunter 3D, a lot of those games look really, really good. The effect is really, really good. There's some flickering, but it works. But Sega was not the first one to do that to a home console. Again, because of the time frame when the Vectrex came out, the crash happened right away. A lot of people don't know the advances that this machine had. And they actually did have the first home console, to my knowledge, that actually had stereoscopic 3D graphics on these screens. Now, it's not true color. The way this works is there's a wheel. And again, this is not an original. This is an aftermarket by a gentleman in Europe. I'll send the links down below. Wasn't expensive. Works phenomenally well. And basically, you have these color wheels here. And only a couple of games support it. The game has to support it. You got these color wheels, and they're slightly different depending on the game. And you put this color wheel on the motor, and it spins it. And as it spins, you get some color effect. You get like three different colors, so it's not true colors, but it does enhance the game. But I'm going to tell you, it does give a really good 3D effect. It's very clear. It works really, really well. Again, it's amazing stuff they did in 1982 with these consoles that it's just amazing stuff they tried to push with the hardware. Another device I got here, I'm not sure if I'm going to butcher this guy's name, Matos. He makes a couple of these. I have one for the Atari Lynx. He's making one for the Atari 7800, but this is for the Vectrex. And this is basically a multi-cart. So basically what you do is you have, this is the actual cartridge that will go inside the console. And I have a cartridge shell from a dead game that I'm going to put in here. So you put this in a case if you want to. And this is what's called the Rom Burner. So you would take this and see there's zeros on this side. And then there's X's on this side. So you look on your device here, and there's my X's and there's my O's. So it would go on like this. You put this on the cartridge. Then you plug this into your Windows computer. And you set it to a number. You have 16 slots. And you basically just drag a Vectrex ROM onto the cartridge, and you just turn the knob, do it to all the locations you want, and it supports up to 32K. Now I know when it cuts the games down in half when you have to set it between, I think it's right here, it's 16 and 32K. So if you're in 16K, you get the full, I think 16 slots, and then if you switch it to the 32K, you only get the 8 slots. But basically, just turn the game off. At least I do. I don't know if you have to, but I definitely do. I turn my console off, switch the knob to another game, and load it from there. And he even gives you a pause button. So he presses down, you can pause your game while it's in play. And this was not expensive at all. I mean, this guy does phenomenal work. I want to say this was probably like around, I don't know, $20, $30 US. And then this was maybe $33. And the beauty of this is you can buy all these different flash drives, whether it be for the Vectrex, for your Atari Lynx, for your Odyssey 2, for your Atari 7800, and you only really need one of these for them. So these may cost you less and less and less because you don't need to buy this for every one, I, being me, I buy them all. So I have one for each one. And that's really it. Just a quick little video of some items here. I'll probably do a video later on going more into detail on the actual items. But I just wanted to get a quick little rundown of the Vectrex, some of the items you can get for it. And I'll put links down below to where you can get a little more information on this. And if you can, definitely go on YouTube and look up VectrexRoli. I'll put a link for his site down below, because he really does some awesome videos on these consoles. He's a really good guy, and actually it's pretty funny what he does with him and his family. So again, I hope you enjoyed this little video. And if you guys do have Vectrex, if there's something you want more information on, please leave comments down below. And I do hope if you like the video, you will share it and subscribe, tell your friends about my channel. And everyone have a great night and game on.